If your charity's social posts and newsletters only go out when someone happens to remember, you already know the feeling. A frantic burst of activity one week, then silence for a fortnight, then a guilty scramble the night before a big event to throw something together. It is stressful, it is patchy, and it quietly teaches your supporters to stop expecting anything from you. There is a calmer way, and it is not fancy at all. It is a simple content calendar, a plain plan of what you will share and roughly when, made in advance so nobody has to invent it under pressure. This video shows how a tiny team, even a team of one, can build a calendar they will actually keep. One honest note first. This is educational content only. We are not affiliated with any social platform, tool, or program, and every charity is different, so results vary and nothing here is guaranteed. What we can offer is a practical, low-stress way to plan that has helped many small organizations find their rhythm. The feast or famine trap. Let us name the pattern first, because almost every small charity falls into it. You post when inspiration strikes or when a deadline looms, which means a flurry of activity around one big appeal and then nothing for 2 weeks. From the inside it feels productive, you were busy. From the outside it looks like the lights keep going off. Supporters who followed you for updates drift away when the updates dry up, and the platforms themselves tend to show your post to fewer people when you go quiet, so each fresh start feels harder than the last. Worst of all is the toll on you. Creating from scratch, late at night, under pressure, is exhausting and it shows in the work. The problem is never a shortage of stories, a charity is overflowing with them. The problem is having no plan, so every post becomes a decision made in a panic. A calendar removes that panic by making the decisions once, calmly, in advance. Why planning ahead changes everything. Here is what shifts the moment you plan ahead. The first gift is consistency, and consistency is what builds trust. When supporters see a steady, dependable rhythm from you, week after week, they come to rely on you. And reliability is the soil that donations and volunteering grow in. The platforms tend to reward it too, gently showing dependable, regular accounts to more people over time, so your reach can grow without you paying a penny. The second gift is calm. When you know on Monday what the month holds, you stop living post to post, and the daily stress simply lifts. And the third gift is efficiency, because planning lets you batch. Instead of switching your brain on and off 10 times, you can sit down once and draft several posts in a single focused session. The way it is far quicker to cook 5 meals at once than to start from cold every evening. Plan ahead and you trade frantic daily invention for a calm, repeatable routine. Start with a few content pillars. So how do you build a calendar a tiny team can actually keep? Start with a handful of content pillars, which is just a friendly word for the few regular themes you return to. Pillars save you from the dreaded blank page because you are never asking what on earth do we post today, only which of our themes is it today. For most charities, a good set looks like this. Impact stories, the real difference your work makes to real people. Behind the scenes, the human, unpolished moments of your team and volunteers. Education, helpful things you can teach about your cause. Gratitude, genuine thank yous to donors, volunteers, and partners, which people love far more than you expect. And the gentle ask, a clear, warm invitation to give or help, used sparingly so it never feels pushy. Choose 4 or 5 pillars that fit your mission, and you have the backbone of every calendar you will ever make. Choose a cadence you can truly sustain. Next, decide how often you will post, and be ruthlessly honest with yourself here, because this is where most calendars quietly die. The temptation is to promise the world we will post every day on 3 platforms and send a weekly newsletter. 2 exhausting weeks later, it all collapses and you feel like you failed. So flip the question, do not ask what would be ideal, ask what can I truly keep up on our busiest, most understaffed week. It is far better to publish 1 thoughtful post a week every week for a year than to blast out 7 for a fortnight and then vanish. Consistency at a small volume beats intensity that burns out every single time. Pick a cadence that feels almost too easy, perhaps 1 or 2 posts a week and 1 email a month, and let it prove itself. You can always add more later once the habit is solid. A promise you keep is worth 10 you break. Mix your content types within that rhythm, vary the kind of thing you share so your feed stays alive rather than flat. If every post is a wall of text asking for money, people glaze over and scroll on, but a healthy mix keeps them curious. Rotate through a warm photo of your work, a short and simple video, a single powerful quote from someone you helped, a quick update on a project, a question that invites your followers to reply. None of this needs a studio or a designer. A genuine photo from a volunteer's phone will nearly always connect more than a glossy graphic because people trust what looks real. Pair your pillars with this variety of formats and you get a calendar with texture, one that feels like a living community rather than a broadcast. The aim is not to impress anyone with production value. It is to feel human, and human is something a small charity can do better than any big brand. Anchor to your real calendar. Now give your calendar some fixed points to hang on, so it reflects your actual year rather than floating free. Start with what is already happening, your events, your fundraising campaigns, your annual appeal, a volunteer open day, and plan the posts that lead up to and follow each one. Then look at relevant awareness days that genuinely fit your cause, and there is almost always one, because they hand you a timely, ready-made reason to speak up and join a wider conversation. But a word of caution, only borrow the days that truly relate to your mission, because a forced connection looks hollow. And crucially, never fill every square. Leave deliberate gaps, breathing room, so that when something real and unplanned happens, a sudden success, an urgent need, a moment worth marking, you have space to react without tearing up the whole plan. A good calendar is anchored to your real life, but never so rigid that it cannot bend. Batch and repurpose one story many ways. Here is the trick that saves the most time of all, and small teams love it. Stop thinking one story, one post, and start thinking one story, many pieces. A single good story, say a family your charity helped this month, is not a single social post, it is a whole week of content waiting to be unpacked. Write it up properly as one piece, then turn the heart of it into a short social post with a photo. Pull one moving sentence out as a quote graphic. Record a 2-minute phone video telling it out loud. Fold it into your monthly email to supporters. That is one story doing the work of 5, each version reaching people who prefer a different format and all from a single effort. This is repurposing, and it is how a team of 1 produces what looks like the output of 5. Gather your stories as they happen, then squeeze each one gently for everything it can give. A lightweight template with free tools, you do not need special software for any of this, and you should resist buying it. A simple shared spreadsheet, free and familiar, is all most charities ever need. Make a row for each post and a few plain columns, the date, the platform, the pillar it belongs to, the rough message or caption, and whether you have a photo ready. That is genuinely enough to see your whole month at a glance and to share the plan with anyone who helps. If you prefer something more visual, a free online planner or even a paper wall calendar with sticky notes works beautifully, and there is real satisfaction in moving a note from to-do to done. The tool honestly does not matter. What matters is that it is free, that everyone who needs it can open it, and that it is simple enough that you will actually keep it up to date. Fancy tools gather dust, simple ones get used. Plan a month in one short sitting, then review. Now put it together into a gentle monthly rhythm. Once a month, set aside a single quiet hour, make a cup of tea, and fill in the month ahead. Drop in your fixed anchors first, the events and campaigns you already know. Then spread your pillars across the remaining slots so the themes feel balanced, sketch a rough caption for each, and note which ones need a photo. In one calm sitting, you have planned 4 weeks, and the frantic nightly scramble is simply gone. Then, just as importantly, take 10 minutes at the month's end to look back. Which post did people respond to? Which fell flat? What felt easy? And what felt like a slog? You are not chasing vanity numbers here. You are learning your own audience so you can do more of what genuinely connects and quietly drop what does not. Plan for an hour, review for 10 minutes, and every month your calendar gets a little wiser. A servant, not a cage. Let us end with the spirit of the whole thing because it matters more than any template. A content calendar is a servant, not a cage. It exists to serve your mission and protect your energy, never to bully you with guilt when a slot goes unfilled or a week slips. If a plan stops fitting your real life, you change the plan, you do not abandon the habit. Keep it simple, keep it sustainable, and let it flex around the messy, wonderful reality of charity work. Bring it back to the basics. A few honest pillars, a cadence you can truly keep, a mix of formats, anchors from your real year with room to react, and the repurposing trick that stretches every story. Plan it in one calm sitting, review it briefly, and adjust without shame. Do that, and the feast or famine panic fades into a steady, trustworthy rhythm that grows your reach while actually lowering your stress. That is a calendar working for you. Remember that showing up consistently is not about posting more, it is about posting on purpose, and a simple plan is what makes that possible even for the smallest, busiest team. You do not need a marketing department or clever software, only a few themes, a rhythm you can honor, and one quiet hour a month to think ahead. Everything here is educational only. We are not affiliated with any platform or tool, and because every charity and audience is different, results will vary and nothing is guaranteed, so take what fits and leave the rest. If this gave you a calmer picture of how to plan your charity's content, subscribe for more practical, honest charity marketing you can actually use, and have a look at the companion written guide linked below, which includes a template to get you started. We will keep turning big, intimidating topics into calm, doable steps, one video at a time.